Here are 10 things that will get you killed in Apex Legends, so let's get into it. Number 1. Tunnel vision. A lot of players struggle with seeing an enemy during a fight and you just try and take out that enemy. You don't consider where their teammates are, and yeah, if you know there's another enemy close to you, you need to always be considering where are this person's teammates. And if you know there's another enemy close to you, then do not overcommit to getting that knock because you will probably die. You need to be looking and listening to slight visual and audio cues that will tell you where enemies are, or even if there's a third party on its way, and that'll tell you if you need to back up a bit. Number 2. Healing at the wrong time. When you're in a fight and you want to heal, you need to be out of line of sight of any enemies, otherwise they will shoot you. They'll see that you're healing, they'll be like, easy kill, bam, you're dead. You also need to make sure that when you're behind a rock or something or in a building, you need to make sure that the enemies won't try and push you for a few seconds while you use a healing item. Easiest way to get this done is to either deal damage to the enemies so they go and heal as well, or, while you're healing, have one of your teammates watch out for you and shoot any enemies that try and peek and discourage them from pushing. Number 3. Standing in the open. It's very, very surprising to me how many people just stand in the open when they're in a fight. They don't even try and get close to any cover. It doesn't even cross their mind that they might need to be behind cover when they're shooting at someone. If you watch any decent player, you will see that they're always trying to have at least part of their screen covered by some type of rock or wall. This will partially cover your body and make it just a bit harder for the enemies to hit you. I covered this in another video about pro players and their top secrets, so click in the top right to go watch that. Something to help you learn to do this tip is something called the 60-40 rule. So you want to have 60% of your screen being open to shoot the enemies and 40% of your screen to be covered. Obviously you won't be able to get this exactly right all the time, but try to have it around there. So you try and be partially behind cover at all times when shooting. Number 4. Not planning ahead when you're in a game. When you watch Preds playing ranked, you'll often see they're talking about which rotation to take and where they think the zone will end up. And this is an incredibly important thing to do because it prevents you just wandering around the map aimlessly, drifting towards the circle. And then you'll find yourself getting gatekept, and then you don't know where the enemy teams are. You'll run into a team without meaning to, and before you know it, you're being gatekept in the ring and you're dead. So just start trying to think ahead in your games. Think about where possible enemy teams are, and you'll be great. Number 5. Only liking a few guns. When you drop with another squad on a POI, you can't guarantee what guns you'll get, so you need to be comfortable using any gun you pick up, even a Mozambique or a P2020. I know they're awful, but yeah. It's okay to have favourite guns, but relying on 2 or 3 guns and just hoping you'll find them is not a good way to play. You need to be able to kill someone with any gun in the game. Luckily, this tip has an easy remedy. Just hop into the firing range with a friend, you both pick up a gun that you don't use very often, and you try and kill each other with them. Do this a few times with each gun that you don't use, and you'll see yourself becoming a much better player with a much wider range of guns. Like, you don't have to be a master with all the guns in the game, just being comfortable using them can go a very long way in games. Number 6. Not reviewing when you died. I'm guessing most of you that are watching this, when you die, you just go, oh well, I died, and then you move on to your next game. If you keep doing this, it will take a much longer time to improve. What you need to do to improve the fastest is to, when you die, you think, what could I have done differently that could have helped me to win that fight or that game? And if you can't think of what you did wrong, then you start recording your games maybe, if that's possible. And afterwards, if you can't think of what you did wrong, watch back the footage of when you died and see what did you miss in that fight that you could have done better, you know? And if you just do this and try and really focus on those things that you see yourself doing wrong, and you will become far better. Number 7. Being predictable. When encountering higher level players in Apex, they will try and predict what you're doing, such as peeking a certain angle or pushing at a certain time. Best way to counter this is obviously to be as unpredictable as possible. So if you peek a rock at an angle and you peek again at a completely different angle, and then or move to a different rock, and then just try and confuse them as much as possible. And another good way to do this is to have all of your team stationed, not too far away from each other obviously, but far enough away that the enemies can't sort of get you all in line of sight at once, and then you'll shoot the enemies from different angles, and they'll have to keep on changing angles, and it'll keep them on their toes, and it'll give you the upper hand in that engagement, and it'll keep you in control of that fight. Number 8, focusing on movement. When people first start playing Apex, they tend to watch streamers and YouTubers, and they see them doing some crazy movement tech, you know, like tap strafing, 360 degrees, whatever. And then the new players, they decide, oh, this looks cool, I'm gonna do this. And then they focus too much on being incredible at movement when they just need to learn the basics of movement, like slide jumping and wall bouncing maybe, and focus the rest of their time on working on their aim and game sense. As, let's be honest, there is no point having insane movement and dodging every single bullet if you can't actually hit any bullets yourself. There's just no point, you just won't win any games. Number 9, rotating too late. This does apply more in ranked, given, but it does apply a bit in pubs too, especially considering pubs is now ranked 2.0. So if you spend too much time at the start of the game looting, and not like looting the POI that you land in, and yeah, not thinking to move to the next ring, you'll find yourself getting caught out by the ring, and you will become part of a mad rush of teams, all trying to get to the ring at once, while it's closing on top of you, and there'll be teams gatekeeping you, and you'll most likely wind up dead. It's much better to rotate early, have a little bit less loot, spend a little bit less time looting, but not too much, and you rotate early, and then you're the one gatekeeping the other teams, and it's much better than being the ones that are gatekept, let's be honest. Number 10. Getting separated from your teammates. Since Apex has a very long time to kill, it makes it very, very hard to 1v3. It is possible, given, but it's very hard. So if you drift too far away from your teammates and you get jumped by a full squad, they will most likely kill you unless they're an uncoordinated mess and they're all over the place. That's unlikely. But please, please try and stick next to your teammates. Even if they're just randoms. Having randoms is better than having no teammates at all, contrary to what a lot of you seem to believe based on my random teammates experience. If they decide to push a fight and you don't think it's a good idea, but you know there's no way you're going to stop them because they're random teammates, they're not listening to what you're saying, maybe they don't have, I don't know, they've got you muted or something, maybe go with them, because even though you think it's a bad idea, you'll have a much better chance of survival as a team rather than as a solo. Obviously certain situations, like if you're in ranked and you've already got loads of KP and you're just trying to get placement now, obviously don't push a stupid fight. But, you know, sometimes in pubs, give it a go, you know? And, you know, the worst that happens is you die and you have to go and try again. You know, it's like, that's the worst that happens in pubs. Thanks for watching. Let's confuse all the people that didn't watch until the end by putting a number 9 in the comments. Nothing else, just a number 9. Anyway, make sure to subscribe while you're down there and hit that bell so you can get updated about more videos like this to help you improve, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!